sun peeking through yesterday, and the day before it was a little bit better. So I can't complain. It's beautiful here. All right, everyone. I'm glad you decided to join us here today. Welcome to Unity of Tacoma. So if this is your first time here, I'd like to welcome you. If you've tuned in for the first time and you're just checking us out, I'm so glad you decided to join us today. We have a really exciting workshop kind of format that we've been doing the last couple of weeks because we are planning our intentions for 2025 by setting goals and doing things. And today we're doing the White Stone ceremony. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Reverend Lori Irwin Johnson, and I use the pronouns she and her. So last week we did the burning bowl. And if you're unfamiliar with the burning bowl is when you take a piece of paper and write down those things that you no longer want to have in your life, and you put them in flame and let them go up into the ether where they are let go, and that energy is released to go somewhere else. So today we are going to be doing what's called this white stone ceremony. So the white stone ceremony is just the opposite. Instead of allowing you to let go, you are inviting in. So I'm looking forward to be able to move you through that ceremony today. Also, next week we're going to go into another exciting portion, kind of the third portion to this series. So we have the first portion, we have the burning bowl, which lets go, and then we invite with the white stone ceremony. But then again, what do we do with it after that? So next week, we're going to talk about how to set goals and how to get to those goals and what we need to do on a daily basis. Because, just to be honest, in January, a lot of us set a lot of goals. And by the end of January, we don't even remember what those goals were. So let's take some time that's what we're going to be doing next week. We're going to take some time to be able to find out what it is that we're actually going to do and how we're going to keep ourselves accountable and on track towards what it is that we would like to bring to our lives. So last week we decided we were going to do announcements in the beginning of our message. So I'm going to share those with you. Maybe. There's so many steps that are involved with turning on the screen. All right, so today is White Stone ceremony. And so if you have this first time you've been here, we do stream this portion of the service on YouTube. So you right now are on live stream. At this point, if you are uncomfortable with having your microphone on or your camera on, you can certainly shut that off. That is something that is not seen on YouTube. Right now, what they are seeing is the slide, and they're seeing my face. They're not seeing yours. But if you're uncomfortable with having your face or any of that on YouTube, please make sure to just shut off your camera so no one can see you. And if there is a portion of our service at the end of the message where we allow ourselves to be able to share what it is that we got from the message and how we're going to use that in our lives. And that portion of the service is not live streamed. It's very confidential and very sacred. So we do not share that portion. So I just want to let you know that we do live stream this portion of the service. All of the things that we're going to talk about today are going to be on our event calendar on our website. You can go to unityoftacoma.org, and at the top you can see that there is an event calendar. You just click on that and bring that down, and that'll tell you what we are going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. And as we ramp up into the new year, there'll be more and more on that calendar for sure. So check that out on our website. The one thing we're going to start off with is we're going to have a new member class. So the first thing going on this week, which does start this Thursday actually, is a new member class. And the new member class is really an informational class for anybody interested in what's happening at Unity. We do this class once a year for individuals that are new to Unity of Tacoma or just interested in learning more about Unity. It does not, just because you take the class does not mean you have to become a member. It is someone that is required for someone who wants to become a member. So I always tell people, if you're interested in learning more about Unity of Tacoma, please come to this. And at some point in the year, if you decide you want to become a member, you've already taken the class. So it's a good opportunity. We're going to go for an hour from 6:30 to 7:30 on the next 3 Thursdays. So it's going to be a great opportunity to learn more about the New Thought movement, to learn more about Unity, and also just to learn about Unity of Tacoma specifically. So please join us if you can, and I can send out the Zoom link if you are interested and you are not here to tell me after the message today. You can email me at lori@unityoftacoma.org and I can get you signed up. Like I said, next week we're going to be doing some really fun, more workshop and more fun exercises to be able to help us to dream big, set goals, and take action. So that's next Sunday. Be prepared. I always tell people in advance, please make sure that you have a pen and a paper with you so you can write down what it is you want. And if you're creative like me or some of us here at Unity of Tacoma, you can certainly bring out your colored pencils or your crayons or whatever it is, paints, and make it an experience when you're creating something new. So next week, January 19th. The following week, we have a guest speaker. David Elliott will be back with us, and musician will be Christine S. Young. Finally, we are still working with Nativity House to be able to provide any kind of knit goods that we create. So that would be hats and mittens and scarves, that kind of thing. It is still the middle of winter, so they are still in need. And as people who are unhoused don't have places to store things, they get soiled, they get lost, they get wet. Those are things that need to be replaced on a regular basis. So we do need them continually throughout the winter. So even if you provided some, we appreciate that. If you continue to do that, we would really greatly take those in. I would appreciate doing that for you, and that would go to the Nativity House. We also have been working in the past, and those of us that have been here at Unity of Tacoma, we do sandwich making and we deliver those to Nativity House once a month. Well, we lost our space to be able to make those sandwiches. So we're in the process of finding a new place to do that. And by February, we will have a new location to be able to create those sandwiches. So we'll be back doing that ministry again. So I look forward to all of that and anything that I missed. Is there anything that anyone wants to share that I have missed in the announcements? Anything that... No. All right. I like it when I do things correctly. I love that. Okay. So let's start off with going into our prayer. Let's start off with, that's not the right one. That's the wrong one. The prayer for protection. Let's say the prayer of protection together. And the words are on the screen. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. And wherever we are, God is and all is well. And let's just take a moment to sit and just be in the gratitude of this moment, to allow ourselves to feel the presence of each other's company, to know that wherever we are on the spectrum of time, whether it be here presently in this now moment, or if you tune in later this afternoon, or maybe next week, we know that time is irrelevant when it comes to spirit. We are connected in all ways at all times. So we never have to count on or worry about being separated. That this moment is all we have. And in every moment is all we have. So those moments connect, and it is all connected in the now moment. So as we sit here, we hold everyone that is suffering and dealing with the wildfires in California, knowing that where they pop up like little weeds, just moments in moments. And so we need to be aware to hold them and to know and support them and lift them up and to see them whole and cared for and safe, and that their lives will be birthed into something better, knowing that spirit has their back, knowing that spirit is there for them. And this is what we know for sure. And so those of us that are in safety right now can do that for them. We can also hold those people who are struggling with other things, health issues or family issues or relationship issues or whatever it is. We hold them up too, because we know the struggle. And it's especially difficult this time of year for those people who live with SAD, for example, those people who live with depression and anxiety. It's more heightened this time of year. So let's hold them as well. We hold them in that light of love, seeing everyone from our family and friends and our community and from our cities and our country and our world. And we see them all in front of us, enveloped in the light of God, supported, loved, and it is the ultimate in connection when we know and hold them in our hearts in this time of prayer. And it's with gratitude. We say thank you for this opportunity, for our consciousness, for our minds, for our bodies to be here and present, to be healthy enough to do this work today, to be able to sacrifice our time for the needs of others, for there's so many people that are doing that right now. And in that sacrifice, and I say that lightly, it's in that sacrifice we receive. So is not giving and receiving is not something we are taking away from us. In fact, we are giving and receiving twofold. So with gratitude, we say thank you for our ability to give. Thank you for our ability to hold. Thank you for our ability to be. And so it is. Amen. All right. We have our intention for today. So let's put that up, our affirmation. These little black boxes don't want to go away today. Our affirmation for today. My intentions are clear. My heart is open. And I courageously step into the life I am creating. I know that's a mouthful, but it's really powerful. So let's say it again. My intentions are clear. My heart is open. And I courageously step into the life I am creating. Oh, let's just breathe into that. That is such a powerful statement. Each and every moment of each and every day, can you imagine if we got up every day with the intention to create, to open up, and to be available for exactly what is our greatest good in the moment? Wouldn't that be cool if we could just focus on that all the time? You know, our brains are interesting. We are always in this space of looking to solve a problem. That's what our brains are really for. That's what makes us different than other animals. We are always looking to solve a problem. And in that process of solving problems, we have expanded our world into something that we couldn't have imagined even 50 years ago. We are doing things like this on Zoom. Can you imagine what 10 years ago, if you'd have said to me, I would be doing this on a regular basis online with you like this, I would have said that is not ever going to happen. And here we are doing this work together in connection, looking towards and doing things that we never thought we would in a new way, connecting in a different way, and rejoicing in that. And it's so wonderful. So let's take a moment, just take a breath together and allow ourselves to get relaxed and to be in this moment, and allow those thoughts that are pulling us here and there and all those solutions that we're looking for to those problems, just allow them to settle for a minute and just open the space to the sacred moment. So as we explore this idea of what it looks like to visualize what our future will look like and how to set intentions for what it is we'd like to experience. A couple of years ago, we did a book study And it was the book called Why Woo Woo Works by Dr. David Hamilton. And I love the title because it was so, we're always told here, especially I have been for a long time, several years since I started being part of Unity and being part of the principles of Unity and doing that. And some people will come to you and say, that's just a bunch of woo-woo. And all of the magical thinking and all of the things that we know, that they know, that, and I say that lightly, they know to be true. And when I found this book, Dr. David Hamilton is a psychologist and a scientist. And he wrote this book about all of the studies that have come up about all the things that we've been talking about at Unity forever, and how they are supported by science, and how those things are actually unfolding for people. And today he's going to be talking a little bit, and I'm going to reading some excerpt from his book. We're going to talk a little bit about visualization. And we do that all the time here at Unity, but we need to understand and realize why it is that we as humans are different than other animals, and it's largely because we have imagination. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that, and I want to read this little excerpt, so bear with me as I read it. To a large extent, the brain doesn't distinguish real from imaginary, and this underpins some aspects of the placebo effect. When you imagine that something is happening, it really is happening as far as your brain's concerned. And it releases the chemical substances necessary to confirm that what you're imagining is indeed real. In multiple studies, scientists have compared the strength of people lifting weights with people imagining lifting weights. And the results have found relatively small differences in strength between the real and the imaginary groups. For some stroke patients, visualization has helped repair some damaged brain regions, and in some others, the areas responsible for movement switches to new brain locations that isn't damaged, permitting neuroplasticity and a return to able movements. Stroke patients who visualize had undergone some degree of brain reorganization as a consequence of their mental practicing. The real versus imaginary phenomenon is much more widespread than in the areas we've discussed. Though the brain produces stress hormones regardless of whether we're in a stressful situation or imagining a stressful situation. I'm going to say that again because I need to hear that. The brain produces stress hormones regardless of whether we're in a stressful situation or imagining a stressful situation. It's the feeling of stress that triggers the release of stress hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol, and it is independent of the situation. So that means that your brain has such a great imagination that your thought alone can change the chemistry of your body and put it into a fight or flight mode without even being threatened. How many times have you woke up in the middle of the night and thought, hey, what did I forget? I forgot to do this, or I didn't do this. And then you're just sitting there and your brain's going, okay, so how am I going to fix this? How am I going to fix this? How am I going to fix, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And what is your body doing? Is it resting? Is it comfortable? Is it supposed to be going to sleep? That's what it's supposed to be doing. Is it doing that? It is not, because your brain, your thoughts have now set it on a new course of being awake and alert and probably triggered to do something about it. Your brain knows that this is a stressful situation and it is getting the body ready. Are you really threatened? No, but you are threatened in the moment by the thought. So the juxtaposition of that is if you were to think positively, if you were to visualize what it is that you want to experience, then your body adjusts to that as well, and it doesn't know the difference of whether it's actually happening or it's something you're imagining. And the funny thing about it, the cool thing actually for me, is that the more you do something, whether it be respond in a stress situation or respond in a positive situation, with positive chemicals in your body, it becomes a habit. It's something that we continue. And so the more often that we are in stressful situations, we think stressful thoughts, we are more likely to be anxious and stressful. But if we are more apt to think of the positive and to visualize what it is that we want to experience, then we are creating that as a reality for ourselves. Our bodies become that experience. I'm going to show a video with you. There is a video by Jim Kwik. I don't know if you've ever heard of Jim Kwik. He is a brain coach. He is world renowned. He is one person that I really am inspired by because he actually has a learning disability and he was able to learn differently. And so he shares all of his information of what he knows about the brain and how it works. And so I would like to show this excerpt. It's about 5 minutes. So are you guys willing to watch it and to be able to, okay, let's do that. So it'll be just a second for me to share my screen. Sharing sound.
A question that we had in our community about the power of visualization to reach your goals. And for me, I believe visualization and imagination is a superpower that we all have. You know, our minds really are superpowers. In nature, every creature has a superpower of sorts. Some creatures could fly, some could breathe underwater, some could climb incredibly well, some are incredibly fast, some are incredibly strong. Human beings aren't really naturally any of those things, but because of the power of our imagination, we can fly. The power of our imagination, we can go underwater. With the power of our imagination, we can go very fast because we create external, reality or technologies that allow that to happen. And same thing with creating, I believe, the goals in our life. So I want you to think about a goal or something that is just wildly in your dreams, right? A place where your deepest desires can become a reality. So I want to talk to that part of your mind, that where you believe it's possible. And the power I'm talking about, obviously, is the power of visualization, the art and science of visualizing. And so if you think about top renowned athletes or artists or top performers across various fields, something they have as a tool is this power of imagination. And you want to be able to celebrate this because the best of the best, from Olympic champions to innovative entrepreneurs, have mastered this art. They see something and they take the invisible and they make it visible, right? And they're harnessing their mind's eye to see, and more importantly, to feel their successes before they actually manifest that thing. And so I want you to think about this. Like, I talk about Roger Bannister in 1954. What is he famous for? Breaking the 4-minute mile. Throughout human history, nobody can run a mile in less than 4 minutes. But how did he do it? If you saw an ESPN special on it, a documentary, he did it because he would visualize himself crossing the finish line. He wouldn't just do physical training, he would do mental training, and he would do these thought experiments where he would imagine himself crossing the finish line and looking at the clock, and the clock says 3 minutes and 59 seconds, because he knows what you know. He knows that you have to see it here in order to see it here. That it's not where you'll believe it when you see it, it's the opposite. You'll see it when you start believing it inside. And that's the power. There was a study done in the 1990s at the University of Chicago where they took 3 groups of just normal people, average people, they weren't athletes, and they put them on a basketball court. And they had group A and B and C just do free throws, and they rated how well they did. How many did they get into the basket? And then they said, okay, for the next 30 days, group A, I want you to practice 1 hour a day. Go out on the court and practice those free throws. And they said, group B, we don't want you to do anything, right? Don't touch a ball, don't do anything just for the next 30 days. And they took group C and they said, group C, we want you to practice but not physically. We want you to practice mentally. We want you to spend an hour a day just seeing and feeling what it would be like to shoot these successful free throws. And 30 days later, they put them back on the court. Group A did their free throws and they improved 24%, right? Because practice makes progress, right? Group B, who never touched a ball or did no visualization, did the same, right? And no practice, no progress. But Group C is really what blew their mind. Group C, when they did their free throws, they improved 23%, just 1% less than the people who actually went out on the court, got all dressed, and did the physical activity of doing the free throws. So that's the power of visualization. And visualization isn't magic, it's neuroscience. When you vividly imagine, you perform an action, your brain undergoes many of the same changes as when you're physically doing them. Isn't that amazing? That by visualizing, we create neural pathways, making it easier for our minds and our bodies to replicate that success in the real world where it counts. But it's not just about seeing, it's also about feeling, right? It's the emotions, the joy, the pride, the satisfaction that fuel our drive and make our vision sticky. So let's dive in. I want you to find a comfortable place. You can sit down or you could even lie down. And I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out. And just breathe normally and take a few deep breaths, allowing yourself to relax. With every breath, you get more and more relaxed. With every sound you hear, you get more and more relaxed. And now I want you to imagine a goal that you deeply desire. And I want you to see yourself having achieved it. What are you doing? Who is with you? How do you feel? And how are you celebrating afterwards also as well? Now I want you to amplify that emotion and let it fill every part of you, every cell in your body. I want you to feel the joy, the pride, the excitement. This is your future. This is your potential. Now take a moment and pause and just kind of reflect. Allow yourself to feel it, amplify those emotions. And then when you're ready, start to come back to this moment and bringing with you those same feelings, those same emotions, that same sense of determination from your vision. Remember, every dream realized started in someone's imagination. It started in their mind. And with consistent practice and faith, visualization will become your bridge between where you are now and where you desire to be. I want you to imagine it, see it, feel it, and then believe in it. And then work daily for it.
That's pretty inspiring to be able to give you the opportunity to know that it isn't woo-woo, that it isn't something that we know that our ancient ancestors, the gurus, the saints, the people that went before, they knew on some level that this was truth. And they knew what they needed to do. And they shared that knowledge with a select people. And I'm a person who is very interested in Paramahansa Yogananda. If you're unfamiliar with Paramahansa Yogananda, he was a guru that came from India to the United States at the turn of the 20th century, between the 19th and the 20th century. And he shared his light and inspiration. And they always had their gurus. Their gurus had gurus that had gurus that had gurus, right? So it goes all back, and they are always go back and back. So it's not just one person. It is a bunch of people and knowledge that's been passed on for generations after generations after generations. And now neuroscience, which has really been coming, with the idea of neuroplasticity, really has been over the last since the 1990s or so, it really has become the forefront of how we understand the brain changes. Before that, they thought that we were pretty fixed, that we would not be able to change our brains. that we couldn't grow new pathways, that we wouldn't be able to do what we needed to do if there was an injury, for example, or if we wanted to create the life that we wanted. A few years ago, well, actually several years ago, when the movie The Secret came out, and I was in college still, and I sat there, and when they told me that I could create my reality with my mind, I was like, I was in tears. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. That can't be true. And so I changed majors. I went from business to psychology to find out if that was actually the case. And I am here to tell you, and proud and happy to tell you, that that is true, that it was not something that they just told me because I wanted to hear it, that you can change and make your reality just by your thoughts alone. Now, a combination of thoughts and actions, and we're going to talk about that next week, is really a good powerhouse for making and changing our goals. But today we're working on the White Stone ceremony, which allows us to visualize what it is that we want. And a couple weeks ago, I sent out a handout that you can use today if you want, where you were able to write down what it is in each area, different areas of your life, from your personal life to your physical life, your psychological life, your spiritual life, all of those things that you would like to change. And today we're going to be focusing on one thing, because you have one rock. But if you have multiple rocks, you can certainly do that. You can have a rock for each spectrum of that wheel to be able to give you all the different aspects of your life and all the changes you would like to see. However, today we're working on one. And the White Stone ceremony allows us to be able to narrow down what it is that we would like to experience in the future down to one word or phrase. What is one word or phrase that you can come up with that reminds you of where it is you want to be? Something that when you get off track and you're like, my focus is adrift and I'm not quite there. What is a reminder? What is it that I'm looking for? And you pull up your little rock and you remember what it is. Now, the beautiful thing about the rock is not just its symbology. It is also a tactile reminder. So I don't know if you've ever used a rock or a pebble as a gratitude stone, for example, and you put a gratitude stone in your pocket, and then you reach in your pocket during the day, and then you pull out the stone and you're reminded to be grateful. This is what this stone is for. It's a reminder to get yourself back on track when you start to forget, or you start to get too busy with your life and you're kind of off track a little. It'll bring you back. It's just a reminder to allow you to do that. The White Stone ceremony is something we've been doing at Uni of Tacoma for as long as I can remember. And it comes from the idea of the White Stone ceremony comes from one of the things that comes from is from Revelation 2:17. It's a book in the Bible, the last book in the Bible, and it states, to the one who overcomes, I will give a white stone with a new name written on it, known only to the one who receives it. Now, if you're familiar with history at all, you know that during that time period in Greek and Roman history, the white stone, there was white and black stones to be able to make decisions. The white stone was positive, the black stone was negative. So whether you were in a court and they would use stones to be able to decide whether you're guilty or not. Your white stone, you want that. You don't want the black stone. So the white stone carries over. So that's why in Revelation, it specifically says the white stone, because it is a symbol of yes. It is a symbol of moving forward in the direction that you really would like to experience. So we do this ritual at the beginning of the year every year. It is the opportunity to claim that highest good that you're trying to create for yourself. And so I'm going to give you a moment, just for a few minutes, not too long, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, where you can go ahead and kind of think about and meditate on what it is that you would like to experience. What is it that you want to have in your life? And I'm going to pull up a video with some songs so you can just meditate on that for just a moment. And then I will come back and we will get going on the stone ceremony. Hold on one moment. So now you have the opportunity to really get into a visualization state, to be able to get yourself ready for what it is that you want. And you probably have some idea. The white stone actually represents kind of a seed that we're planting today. The idea of what it is that we would like to have. So whether we're looking for peace or courage or abundance or a new job or just a new relationship or whatever it is you're looking for, or what it is you would like to experience in the next year. This allows you to metaphorically plant your seed in spiritual soil. And when you plant something in spiritual soil, it's going to thrive, and it's going to take off very quickly. Maybe not in a way that you anticipated, but that's the thing about visualization. You can visualize exactly what you would like to have in your life. How you get there, though, unless you visualize each and every moment of each and every day, how you get there may be unexpected. It may come to you in a way that you had no idea that it was going to appear. So be open, allowing yourself to be aware of what it is that you would like to experience, and come back to your visualization. This is what I want. And you hold that, and things will come into alignment. Your body will produce the right chemicals. You'll start to do the right actions. You'll have the right behaviors. They'll put you in the right place at the right time, and you'll be open to those synchronicities in life that come to you and say, hey, this is your moment, grab it, and allow yourself to be there. And that white stone is the beginning. It's the beginning. It's a reminder. And like the gratitude stone, you can keep it in your pocket if you want, and have it as a reminder as you go throughout your day. So we're going to go into a real visualization now, where we're going to experience the white stone ceremony. So let's get into another place of more contemplation, but this time it's going to be a little bit longer. And just get comfortable, and I will share my screen and we will get started. Relax. You hear that okay? Okay, thank you. Close your outer eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose. And let it out slowly through your mouth. Allow your shoulders to drop, your jaw to loosen, and your entire body to settle into stillness. Feel the chair or floor beneath you. Allow it to anchor you and to support you. Take another slow, steady breath in, and gently exhale. You're now fully present in this sacred moment of connection. Allow yourself to visualize walking along a serene path. You're surrounded by sunlight. It may be the light of dawn, where everything feels fresh and renewed, or the fading sunlight of sunset, where everything feels complete. And this path leads you to sacred space, a place prepared especially for you. And as you enter this space, you notice a sense of peace embracing your entire being. And you feel knowing that you are loved, supported, and seen. In the center of the space, there's a white stone. It's glowing faintly in the fading light. It's as if it holds a message just for you, calling you, and you feel drawn to it. Kneel or sit down before the stone and gently pick it up into your hand, feeling its cool, calming surface as you touch it with your fingers. As you hold the white stone, your heart opens to divine guidance. And as you listen, a word or a phrase begins to emerge, not from your mind, but from the deep wisdom within your soul. It may be a soft whisper or just a feeling. It might take the form of a quality like peace, freedom, courage, or something uniquely meaningful to you. As this word becomes clear, notice how it feels within you. Repeat the word or phrase silently in your mind, letting its energy expand in your body. Picture this word as a living truth, a vibration, a promise you carry forward. Now visualize your life as it aligns with this word. If your word is freedom, for example, see yourself released from old limitations, moving with ease and confidence. Or a word like peace. Imagine living with clarity and calm, navigating your day with grace. The word you received on the sacred stone symbolizes a gift, a divine opportunity to create your new life. This is not just a goal, it's an intention infused with spirit, a guidepost that connects you to the infinite potential within. Hold the image of your white stone and its words as a cherished symbol of this transformation in your life. Let it guide you towards inspiration, action, filling your life with purpose and meaning. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Take a deep breath in, filling yourself with light and gratitude. And as you exhale, feel yourself carrying the essence of this word into your daily life going forward. Your white stone and its words remain with you, anchoring you in intention as you step into the life you are creating. So bringing your attention back to your body, you can gently start moving your fingers, moving your body, allowing yourself to return to this present moment. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and feel the grounding presence of the sacred experience. And so it is. All right, so we are at the moment where I would like you to, if you have your stone and you have a pen or crayon or pencil, and then you can write down what it is that you would like to put on your stone. If you have a stone that you don't feel that you can write on or you don't have anything, you can now just infuse it with that intention by holding it in your hand and bringing that energy into it. So take that moment right now, holding that stone in your hand. If you do not have a stone, you can write it on a piece of paper instead, and then transfer that to a stone at a later time. And just send that energy into the stone, knowing that your intention is already made manifest in this world. The thought alone, bringing it from thought to physical form, allowing your brain to process that, has brought you to a point where you've already begun the process. What it is that you want is already in the process of manifesting. And as we finish off this message, I would like to say a blessing for our stones and for ourselves. May we walk forward with clarity and carrying the sacred word that's written in our hearts and on our stones, and allow it to guide us on our path. Let's feel the unwavering presence of this divine love that supports us each and every day and step into our true purpose. May the intention that we claim today blossom in our hearts and in our minds, and allow us to live a life of joy, peace, and fulfillment as we co-create with the infinite. And so it is. Amen. I want to thank you for this opportunity to be together today, to be able to go through this white stone ceremony. I know we've done it in the past in person. And I'm going to remove my spotlight, and we're going to turn off the recording.